Ryan.
And I'm Logan. And this is Tops.
Sup? Hope you're ready to get equipped with some new knowledge.
It's Bottles.
Sup? Happy Monday.
And this is Dribbles. Sup? Avocados. Oh my god. Why are we still buster locking? Why? And we're Crushcards. Hi team. Happy Monday, my Meta Megazords. Welcome to the new day. You look great. I love you. You look dapper. So in case you've been living under a rock or just have absolutely no idea what's been going on, the ban list dropped last week, which was completely amazing and unexpected all at the same time. We're all still getting used to the new format. And as always, there are decks that got absolutely nuked, like Drytron, and then there are decks that have been sliding away with absolutely no hits whatsoever for several lists now, two of those being Dinosaurs and Dragon Link. But today we're going to talk about Dragon Link. But we're not just going to talk about any Dragon Link, we're going to talk about the Buster Lock because that is unlimited and back.
Dragon Link is one of those decks that a ton of people have been clamoring for a hit for, and for like the last year or so.
It's been a minute.
It's evaded the ban list. No LP, no Pisty. I mean, there was Agripane, but like that's really about it. And not only did Dragon Link not get hit, but as Logan said, the Buster Lock came off to 3. Union Carrier did get banned. However, there is still a way to equip the Buster directly to your Savage Dragon and or any other dragon, and just effectively lock your opponent out of an entire game mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, that sounds super fun and interactive if you ask me, fam.
So the goal of today's video is going to be to demonstrate a couple hands and just showcase exactly what the deck looks like now that you have to play some of these additional cards, how inconsistent or consistent the deck may be, and if the actual play is viable or not.
While the Buster Lock may have been OP a few formats ago, it certainly is not the same now without Union Carrier. It's a lot more bricky and you need to play a lot more routes just to get to it. So today we're going to explore something a little different. We're going to go over the deck, we're going to do some test hands, and we're going to show you guys if this deck is really as viable as it used to be. Is the power still there, and is it worth it?
But before we get into this video, if you guys are not already a subscriber, feel free to go down, hit that subscribe button, throw this video a like,
and comment what deck you think is going to be the best deck this format. There's lots of choices now. We also have an Instagram. It's at Crushcards YUGIOH. We're on there all the time if you want to interact with us a little bit more and see what we're doing behind the scenes. We also have a super wholesome Discord community. It's absolutely bopping. We're almost at 2,000 members, and I'm in there all the time, and we have lots of remote tourneys. And then last but not least, if you want us further support the channel and all the shenanigans we have here, we have a Patreon. We have merch, bloopers, side decks, mystery boxes, remote duel sessions with us. You name it, it's probably in there. We have some amazing rewards. Feel free to check it out. If not, that's okay. I'm just happy you're here to talk about this nonsense of the Buster Lock again, because it just won't go away. But that being said, X gonna give it to you. We're gonna get a little small, and let's see if we can do it all. I just wanted to rhyme. Anyway.
Alright, so laid out in front of you, you have the standard Dragon Link package, right? Everything isn't like what every single player is playing, but you typically have your 3 Tracer, you have your different rockets that are level 4, so you can resolve Tracer more than once. You have your Synchron, you obviously have your Apsarada Dragon. This can be played at 1 or 2. A lot of decks are playing 2 now because it works really well with Chaos Base, and it just helps you search any of your rockets. And then this can honestly be any starter card. It can be Safer, it can be multiple copies of Black Metal Dragon. A lot of builds have switched over to the Dragon Maid package now, which we would highly recommend. Down here we have our little Chaos Engine, we have our Black Metal Dragon still with the 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and then we have our extenders right here. Plus we just have any 6 hand traps. We're playing Nibiru because it is a light once again. Goes really well with Chaos Space. We also have our War Legacy Guard Dragon, Quick Launch, and then the 2 field spells. And then now we are going to get into the relatively like bricky package, so to speak, of actually playing the Buster Lock. So first and foremost, 1 brick. I mean, it's not technically a brick, but you actually have to play the Buster. Drawing this card is not super great. It is a level 1, it is a tuner, it is a dragon, so like it has some synergy with the deck, but being honest, like opening this card is not something you want to see. And then obviously in order to equip it, the new Union Carrier is DMZ Dragon, or
X gonna give it to you.
yeah, DMX Dragon. For anyone who does not know, once per turn you can target 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster in your graveyard and 1 dragon monster you control. Equip that monster in your graveyard to that monster on the field as an equip spell, and it gains 500 attack. That is a once per turn, not a you can only use DMZ Dragon once per turn. That is the difference between a hard once per turn and a soft once per turn. So as long as this card comes back from the graveyard, you can continually loop this card over and over and over again.
Ooh, it'll haunt you.
And then the unfortunate part is, in order to play this combo and just extend with as much consistency as possible, we have to play the 1 copy of Dragoonity Phalanx. And honestly, if you open this card, you cannot really full combo. So other players have recommended even playing 2 copies of Phalanx. That way, if you open one, you still have a live copy in deck. And in order to play the Phalanx, You also need to play your Dragoonity Divine Lance. So we're looking at 5 cards that you do not want to open. This brings the overall consistency of the deck down. It also brings the overall ratio of opening bricks up. So unfortunately, this does make your deck way more susceptible to hand traps, more inconsistent, and just gives you wonkier hands.
It overall just brings the viability of the deck down as opposed to various other builds, like again, the Dragon Maids and, you know, other shenanigans. But this build isn't necessarily bad, it's just not the most meta relevant.
And it's also good to note that if you do decide to go with this little package right here and you do try to like do the Buster Lock combo, your follow-up for the next turn is not as consistent as it has been for the past Dragon builds.
So now that you've seen the deck, we're going to segue into a couple of combos to show you guys this lack of viability and, you know, what the deck can and can't do and whether or not the Buster Lock is really as OP as it used to be.
Alright, so now we're just going to shuffle real quick and just demonstrate exactly what the combo could potentially look like, but also what some realistic hands could look like, because once we said, you know, this deck does brick a lot. So we're going to shuffle up, we'll have our opponent cut, and we'll just draw a random hand to see what we can show.
Golly, is this Blue Eyes? I don't know. We got a lot of bricks here.
Shout out to Dragon Shield and these like beautiful new art sleeves.
Shout out to Blue Eyes for having so many bricks.
Alright, so that's so far so good. So this is a relatively decent starter hand. However, once again, if you do play a build like this, when you play those 5 additional bricks, you have 5 less slots for hand traps. So if you were going second, you have double Nocto Vision. So you have a really good extender. You have 2 more additional extenders and a starter card. So that's really good. However, not having hand traps in a potential format that's like really undefined, if you go up against a board that just like sets up one of those unbreakable boards, this hand's not going to do anything without any hand traps. But this is full combo. So we will just start off by normal summoning our Seyfert, activate the effect. Seyfert will search our Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, and then we can just banish our Seyfert to special summon the Black Dragon. And now we can link for 1 into our copy of Striker Dragon. So we'll order our chain links to Striker Dragon, Chainlink 1, Black Dragon, Chainlink 2, and then our Nocto Vision is Chainlink 3 to special. Black Dragon will search our White Dragon, and then Striker Dragon we'll search our Boot Sector launch. Now we can banish the Black Dragon, special summon our White Dragon, and now we can link for 2 here. So now we go Chainlink 1 Romulus, Chainlink 2 Nocto. So real quick, on looking at this, we do not have access to any of our rocket engines. So if this draw, I mean, it's a rocket card, but it's not Rocket Tracer. So we do not have the ability to do our full combo, which is once again showcases how bricky this deck is, because now off of our Romulus, if we want to Buster Lock our opponent, we have to actually search our Lance, not our Dragon's Ravine. Now we can activate our Divine Lance, equipping it to our Romulus, which will just equip our Phalanx, and then obviously Phalanx can activate. We can unequip, link into our Needle Fiber, and then now Needle Fiber will activate. Now here's where you'll get your access to your actual Buster Dragon.
Whoa.
But it's also good to note that even if you don't, you have access to it through our actual Protector Whelp, because when the Protector Whelp is link summoned, you get to send it to the graveyard. So just keep in mind there are multiple ways to actually see this card, but this is the last point that our opponent is going to have to interact with us. And now we're going to make our Appaloosa for 2. So now we can just take our Buster Dragon and link it away into our LP. Now we can activate LP.
Hi, LP.
LP is going to special summon our DMZ Dragon directly from the deck. Now we can activate DMZ Dragon. And remember what we said, Phalanx is also not a hard once per turn. So now you can equip it to the DMZ and then unequip to special summon itself.
Wow.
Now you can take the DMZ Dragon and make your copy of Pisty. Now we can activate the Pisty, special summon once again the DMZ Dragon. Now we can just banish our LP to special summon our Red Eyes Darkness Metal and then activate Red Eyes Darkness Metal effect. We can special summon back our Nocto Vision Dragon, and now we can link for 2 into our Buster Whelp of the Little Destruction Sword. Now once again, this is a very awkward combo because we did not open a way to our Rocket Tracer. So we unfortunately have to clear some zones. This is a level 7 and we did open a Reborn. So it is just a good thing to know that if we didn't open the Reborn, we would have to equip the Buster Whelp to this and hope that they can't beat over it. Once again, we also opened this. So if we didn't open, say we opened 2 hand traps instead, yes, we could go second, but we have no really good extenders to make a board. So already you can see how fragile this combo is, and this is once again just going uninterrupted. So if we got hand trapped at any point, this is a really difficult board to end on. But we will activate our World Legacy Guard Dragon, special summoning back our Buster Whelp, and now we can sync into our Borreload Savage Dragon. Obviously, we can just activate Borreload, equip our Needle Fiber, and then DMZ has not activated again since it's been on the field, so we can just equip our Buster to our Savage. We'll have 3 cards in hand, and we have a 2 Material Appaloosa, a 2 Negate Savage, and the Buster Lock. And this isn't even the most ideal situation. Like, once again, now because we have to play the Dragoonity Lance to get access to the Phalanx, if we don't open up a way to Rocket Tracer, you don't open a full way to get to our Borreload Savage. So realistically, at the end of the day, we got real lucky making this. So we did achieve the Buster Lock. We do have 2 negates on field. This is a pretty decent board, but if we got hand trapped, it could have stopped us. If we opened any hand traps instead of Extender, it could have stopped us. And even though we do have 2 negates, we have just like 3 cards on the field that don't really,
out.
they just don't do anything for us.
Me and my little protector whelp, we're gonna take this game home. Now that you guys seen what the deck can mostly do when in an ideal situation for the most part, let's see what a few test hands can look like and how wonky they can get, because obviously not every hand is gonna do this, especially with this version of the deck, and we don't want to give you guys any false ideas, so let's get weird with it.
Alright, so once again, we're just gonna shuffle on camera and just demonstrate exactly what more test hands could look like and how awkward this could potentially get. So here we go.
Look, it's already getting awkward.
Put that to the top. You want to cut this?
You were upside down. It's okay. I'm just gonna. There you go. All right. Well, we're starting off strong.
All right. First 5. We'll see. Nocto Vision again. Chaos Space. Ash isn't bad. You have a Safer. And the Buster. Here we go.
Hey, bud.
I mean, for what it's worth, like, this is a relatively decent combo because you opened up the actual Buster and Chaos Space, which, for what it's worth, is a way to put the Buster Dragon into the graveyard. However, now you're down a card, and you could search White Dragon here, but now you'd have to banish it, so you'd have to, like, bring it back with your Pisty just to re-get it back into the graveyard and then try to get the DMZ Dragon a different way. Or, if you really wanted, you could Chaos Space with your Safer instead. Get yourself a Black Dragon. Now you have to banish the Safer, which means that, like, if you do somehow get to your Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, you can't banish the Safer to get it back. You'd have to, like, probably normal summon the Buster Dragon, and then you've got, like, 2 cards in hand. It's just, like, it's just wonky, man. Like, you can still play. We're not saying you can't play. We're just trying to demonstrate in this video exactly how awkward some of these hands can be and some of the really weird reroutes or the steps that you'll have to take to actually get to the combo.
Realistically, it's just a matter of, is it going to be worth it to play this version of the deck, or is it just going to completely fall out of favor?
Let's do a couple more just to find out. Alright, we're just going to do a couple more of these, you know, our favorite little some of these, and then here you go.
Oh boy, here we go. Open a brick, I bet.
Alright, now we'll see. Levy in it. Ooh, that's a pretty. That's a nice.
Drive that Chevy to the levee.
Nice
it won't be dry.
Nice little levy. Quick Launch, that's a really good card. We'll see a Rocket Recharger. We'll also see our World Legacy Guard Dragon and a Phalanx.
This is why we play too.
I mean, for what it's worth, exactly. Like, this just kind of showcases that if you do want to go for that Buster Lock combo, you opened it. And it's really unfortunate because you have to play 2, which now means you have a dead card in your hand and just kind of like an additional brick in the deck. You have 2 insane extenders. And, like, yeah, you could normal this, and, like, it's not the end of the world, but you did also draw the Rocket Recharger, which one could argue is an additional brick, because now your Tracer can't pop the boot to special this from the deck, so you gotta find a way to get both of these in the graveyard. It's just, like, once again, super awkward to play around these really awkward, like, wonky hands. And I'm not saying Legionnaire is a bad card, but, like, you'd rather search Legionnaire as opposed to opening it.
Yes.
We're not trying to say that these hands are bad or that the deck is bad, we're just trying to show how suboptimal these playlines will be. Alright, shuffle again, real quick. Let's see if we can get one more relatively decent or, like, playable hand out of this. So, here you go. Alright, so this is our 4th hand. We'll see. Wow, the first card off the top is already a brick. Black Metal's really good, even though it's a 1-of. Quick Launch is actually really insane. Dragon's Ravine and a Chaos Space. So, here's the dilemma that I can see with this hand. Obviously, like, the Dragon's Ravine works really well with the Buster because you can actually just send the Buster off the Dragon's Ravine, still get access to your Rocket package, even though you drew the Quick Launch. You can normal summon the Black Metal, link it away, get access to your Red MD, banish the Striker Dragon, special Red MD, special this back, and now you have 2 monsters, but now you have, like, no card for Chaos Space. Or, I mean, like, you could also just, like, Chaos Space for the Buster, but then you don't really have a great card to discard off for the Dragon's Ravine. When you play this deck, there's just, like, now with all these additional added bricks, an 1/8 of your deck are bricks.
Brian had to ask me what. He just looked at me, sorry team, he just looked at me and went, what's 540? It's simplified. And I never in my life thought I'd have to be reducing a fraction at age 26, but it's okay team, it's 1/8.
Yeah, so an eighth of your deck sucks. So like, realistically, if you guys are interested in seeing the PK version, or if you are interested in seeing the actual like Dragon Link deck that we would prefer to play, feel free to put it in the comment section down below. We'd love to showcase that and exactly what the end board is, the follow-up, and how you can actually play the deck in a competitive sense without having to worry about all these bricks, buster locking your opponent, and still end on a really solid end board.
The entire purpose of this video was to just show you guys that this version of the deck is not as optimal as it used to be. While yes, the Buster Lock is technically back and oh my god, Buster Whelp's gonna ruin everyone's day, it's really not. And until it really, I don't know, I don't really see this being broken in any other type of way right now unless something comes out in the future. But like now, in order to lock your opponent out, it's not worth it. It requires way more effort, way more bricks, and just it hurts the consistency of the deck to the point where you could just play a better version. So if this video kind of seems like us being like, yeah, these are kind of bricky and kind of lame, it's because we want to be honest with you guys on it. This isn't the best version of the deck anymore. So don't be worried about the Buster Lock. Of course, people might still be playing this version, but you now know that it's a lot more susceptible to hand traps, it's way less consistent, and it's a lot more fragile.
And I know I'm over here messing up my math, but like we did 4 test hands and one of which didn't open a brick. So like 3 out of 4 opening a dead card really, or like a card that now you have to change your entire line of play just so that you can make the entire combo happen. It just feels bad, and that hurts the overall consistency of your plays.
And I'm sorry we couldn't do like test duels or anything. My arm's broken. And as of the time of recording, I'm actually going in the morning to get my new cast, so I'll have a new cast in the next video, but I can't play right now or else we'd do test duels. But this is the best we could kind of do just to show you guys, you know, Brick City on ice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We just wanted to kind of do a different style video to show you guys that this deck isn't as scary as it used to be, but there are versions of it that are very scary indeed. So if you want us to cover those or different versions, let us know in the comments down below. We would love to do that for you. We want these to be really resourceful videos for you guys. Make sure you like the video, make sure you comment, and make sure you let your dog, your friends, and your cousins know that we exist. But we love you, you matter, and we hope you guys have a marvelous Monday. And don't forget, we'll be announcing the sleeve giveaway winner from last week in the next video. So make sure you're here. Probably tomorrow we'll be announcing it because you could be the winner for all we know. And if not, well, welcome. We do giveaways a lot. Anyway, here you go. Bye, boys.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.